All right, welcome back, everybody. This is episode 108, and we are back with a very, very special episode. It is the championship podcast, one of the best ones every year, where we get to crown our champion. And for the first time in our league's history, we have a three-peat here with the Lake Cooler Long Gamers GM Sean O'Shea coming off another championship. I'm personally getting tired of saying it, but I'm sure you're not.
Keep them coming, Randy.
It's been a hell of a run. 3 straight, obviously, has never been done in this league. Truly one of the more impressive things, really, in any league. It's hard to repeat in any league, let alone this one, where it's very competitive. So, first
What
of all,
was our ranking system for the redraft league for like multiple wins? It was like you're like a sir, an illustrious
yeah,
sir.
we need to look into this again. Maybe we should. I feel like this makes the most sense for the Dynasty League, to be honest with you, because because it could be used in any sort of referencing of old seasons, any sort of like we're talking like introductions on this podcast, for example. We can call you the illustrious sir, perhaps. We should see if we could dig up those reanimate those dead horses. We should try to see if we can find that, because that might actually be very applicable. And frankly, if there's any that's been more perfectly set up to have the hats, the Shriners hats, I feel like it would be this league as the championship trophies. Perhaps if you have the hat, that would be an affordable way to do the trophy system.
We landed on it being like getting like a fez. Is that what we?
It was a fez hat, and I believe we were going to do different like pins in it once you get to different champions, like different things in the hat.
Like so old school like country club or like guys club kind of thing.
Yeah, I thought it would be really cool to have like a green jacket situation, but if you win it 3 times, we can't just give you 3 green jackets. Like, that's not how that works. You just
run out of space,
rewear it. So yeah. I don't know. The Fez hat idea is a good one, though. I think we should maybe that'll be part of the league survey. So that'll we'll get to that in a little bit. But congratulations on the championship again. I hate to say it, but I really don't want you to win 4 in a row. I would like to win one of these. But it was a hell of a game with the cheese fries. Not really in terms of like the point output, but really just not the best week for the cheese fries at 108. But the Long Gamers, kind of did their ho-hum 130, pulled it off. So initial thoughts on the championship game and how you're feeling with the three-peat.
I feel like this made it through the chat as that week was going on too, but I felt like both of our teams were just kind of like sputtering to the end of like, all right, who's going to be on the field and who we actually going to be able to start this week. I mean, and it was I mean, towards the end of the season, injuries were really piling up. I mean, I can't imagine, like, for everybody, not just our teams, but so that was really the question of like, especially once you get towards the end of the NFL season, where like you get a Friday game, a Saturday game, like staying on top of that stuff got super important. Just making sure that, all right, this is what I got. This is what I'm starting. So we just hope for the best. Here we go. That's kind of what it's like this year.
Especially some of like the top players in these games, especially like, for example, for Tibbs with Jahmyr Gibbs kind of really sputtering for the majority of that championship, run for his team specifically. I'll bring up the screen share now.
It's those adjacent injuries. Like the Lions were just decimated by the end of the year, which seems to like, it sounds like it's just a theme at this point for Detroit, but like they had like no interior line to end the year. Like it was basically like Sewell and like a bunch of like, I don't know, like third stringers to end the year.
Yeah, I mean, we could start at the top here with the quarterback play. A good week for Dak Prescott and Tibbs' team, but really struggling when it's one against Drake May and a 5 touchdown performance. I mean, really, Drake May to finish the season, that playoff run specifically with 20 points, 28, and then 42 to really cap it off in the championship game against a really bad Jets team. Number 2 quarterback on the season too, Sean. A tremendous year. And really amazing considering that, you had odds-on favorite, one of the favorites to be the best quarterback with Lamar Jackson, and then you just pick up the number 2 quarterback with Drake May in that second breakout season. So, I mean, it really worked out for you there.
Yeah, I mean, we're we're following the Philadelphia Eagles model of creating a quarterback factory here, and we're just gonna keep rolling. I mean, it. I was very high on Drake May. I believe I had him as my QB1 that year he came out. So like drafting him was something I was very excited about last draft season, or I guess 2 draft seasons ago. But I mean, to be like starting him in a championship game in year 2 is not something I necessarily thought was going to be in the cards, especially with how bad that team was last year. So I mean, it's a crazy turnaround for that team. It is super impressive, and he's been so good.
Yeah, and they're really I don't even think they're even really close to what they could be with the receiver setup. I mean, they have a lot of holes still to fill in my opinion. So, I mean, really going into next year, he should be a pretty locked and loaded QB1 in fantasy for the most part. I mean, I can't really see him being outside of the top 10 at this point with an improved pass receiving unit, another year of Travion. The line should keep getting better. They're playing in a relatively poor defensive division, so it should
Yeah.
be another really good year for Drake May next year. Um, Rolling into the running backs, I mean, this was the killer for Tibbs really in this game specifically. You know, Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Jacobs, you know, two stalwart running backs, frankly, just not producing, combining for 4.7 points in the most important game of the season. Unfortunately, that's just not going to do it when you're going against you know, a team like yours that really got the running back production, especially in kind of those meaningless games there at the end with the Cowboys versus the Commanders, and then the Bengals versus the Cardinals with 27 points for Chase Brown, who really finished the season uh, pretty strong and there in the playoff run for you, getting 28 in that game against Miami, and then backing up with 27 in the championship game. So, you know,
Yeah.
not the best season
I
for
mean,
Chase Brown, but really finished strong.
it's a tale of 2 seasons in one for him because the first half of the year was just brutal, and then he really it was just a flip switch. Obviously, Burrow coming back and Flacco kind of giving them a little bit of a jolt helps, but it was a crazy turnaround. He actually became probably one of my more consistent players on my team second half of the year. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and
huge
he
help.
pretty much didn't have any games under 10 points for, you know, the last 10 weeks of the season after starting really poorly. Basically there was no threat in the passing game. So, I mean, the
Right.
boxes were stacked. The cool thing to see as a Chase Brown owner has to be the fact that really, like, you know, his snap percentages kind of went down towards the end of the season, but he was clearly the guy. Like, there was no Taj Brooks didn't really emerge. Samaje Perine was kind of a big nothing. So I mean, it kind of just cemented how well they viewed him going into next season.
Yeah, and like the second half of the year, the guy that was cutting into the workload was Samaje Perine. So like it'd be a little different if it was like the rookie coming in and starting to cut in towards the second half of the year, and you're like, well, I think it gives a little more ambiguity going into next season. But I mean, Perine's like 30, 31 years old, so like he's probably not going to be on this team next year. So I mean, just feeling really good about where Chase Brown is right now.
Yeah, I mean, if he can dodge, you know, another running back in the draft, maybe with higher capital, which seems likely. They have so many holes
I
on
mean,
defense to
yeah,
fill.
it's the
I mean,
same thing, different year for them. They just have so many.
I mean, yeah,
The boat is
they're just
sinking.
they're really just not a good football team. I don't know what else to say other than, you know,
They're
like
so
seven
damn cheap.
players.
Yeah,
Yeah. Really just to kind of drive this home in terms of like the championship value of this player. You know, you traded that 27 first for him back in 2024 before that playoff run. We've now gotten two championships out of Chase Brown, essentially. I mean, he was clearly vital to this run, was very vital to the run last year. So that move is really paying huge dividends, even though it always hurts to give up that first. But this guy has clearly been that guy with a running back 12 and a 10 finish in the last 2 seasons since you acquired him.
yeah. I mean, if you're going to trade a first round pick for a running back, like you can't miss. Like if you're going to try and compete, like it's a position that's just not going to be very like the longevity is not going to be there for you. So you got to capitalize on the 3 year window that most like solid to good running backs are going to give you. So it's just one that worked out for me. I think I mean, hopefully we'll get one more year out of him. We'll see. Hopefully more than that, but
Yeah. I mean, it's strange
it's a
because
fleeting
like I
position.
didn't love that trade in the moment just because of the draft capital baked into Chase Brown wasn't very high. There was still maybe a little bit of question on like if he could truly carry that load. Um, but it seems to really be paying off. Looks like I'm very wrong on that. So that trade worked out well. And then another trade you made
Oh God,
was
this one don't look.
I mean I'm going to look again. It was Jonathan Taylor for Javonte Williams and Cam Akers. However, Javonte Williams played a huge part of this championship run. I mean, this guy,
Yeah,
as bad as
I
the initial returns looked, has really kind of panned off here.
it's funny as I'm pretty sure Javante was him and Dak were the first players to play in the championship week, and he did all of that, I believe, in the first half, and then he didn't play again. And I was like, oh my God, this was going to be such a huge Javante game because they were just kicking the Commander's ass.
Right.
So like that was like my first impression of how the championship week was going to go, and I was like, oh, I think we might be in trouble here, boy.
They were
It's
running
like,
like
oh
Phil Moffa at the end of the game and stuff in
yeah,
week 18 too. So it's like
mhm.
it seems they knew it,
Yeah,
like the snap percentages went way down. Yeah.
yeah. He's just I think Javante. I want to say it was like week 13 or 14 or something like that, where he got like a neck injury that he was just kind of playing through the rest of the year, and then they eventually just put him on IR last week of the season. But he was I like just watching him, just film wise, like he just looked like such a confident runner this year compared to when he was in Denver. Like he was just running through
He
people
had the
this year.
juice back. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
those were, I mean, the injury to him was so bad. And I don't think people like realize how important that juice was. He wasn't just a run through you guy. He had juice in college. So
Mhm.
when you take that away, for multiple seasons, it's kind of crazy to think that he's even in this sixth season coming up here, which is wild.
Yeah.
But he's only 25 years old. Like he was a young prospect. He's still got some juice in the legs. I mean, clearly this was like his first year, um, carrying more than 204 times basically since, or actually 217 times in his 2023 season, but really like carrying a true load this year. It was clear that he could do it. And then obviously the touchdown number were great this year. And that's what I expected coming out of college. Like that was the Javante I thought we were going to get and that I was so excited about coming out of college. It just took a very long time to get back to what that looked like. But, for the Cowboys, I would imagine they would want to re-sign him based on
Yeah.
how
I mean,
well
they
he
have so
played.
much work to do on that defense. Like I imagine that they're not going to want to spend like high draft capital on a running back or potentially like a lot of money considering the running backs that are hitting free agency. Like he might be like he might get a good value on him because of the other names that are out there. So I mean, here's hoping because like he was really good. He kind of fits. They know him. From anything I've ever heard, like he's great in the locker room too. So
Yeah, it was
hope
a good
so.
pass protection too. I mean, like there's just not many competent running backs behind him either at this point. So it's kind of just like
No, I mean,
it's his
they hate
job to
Jaden
lose.
Daniels.
Like they really can't afford to lose him. Like Blue
Mhm.
didn't do anything. Um, he did get a lot of run that last game. Anyway, let's go over to Tibbs' side with the running backs. As we mentioned, Jahmyr Gibbs really sputtered towards the end here. In this playoff run, he was just so good throughout the entire season. But he did have a couple of games like sprinkled in that were kind of like, oh, that was like a big nothing burger game for him. And unfortunately, they just kind of came at the wrong time here for Tibbs with going against the Rams in Week 15. When he was on the bye, that kind of worked out. He basically had a nothing burger game outside of receiving against Pittsburgh, and then Minnesota pretty much shut him down in that championship game against you. So that hurts. But for Jahmyr Gibbs, we're going into a contract year, probably get that 5th-year option, you imagine. But he's at the peak of his game. Going into next year, Tibbs should have no problems with Jahmyr Gibbs, but it just really hurts for for this season and this championship run. And frankly, one of the reasons he lost, unfortunately. And then we'll go to Josh Jacobs. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, when you look at Gibbs's statistical record through the first three, was it year three? This was
Mm-hmm.
like it's like Hall of Fame level production through 3 seasons. So,
I mean,
like, I don't think Tibbs has
touchdowns
anything more.
everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so much scoring.
He had 20 touchdowns last year. He had 18 this year. His yards per carry has never been lower than 5. I mean,
I
he's a
distinctly
stud.
remember offering Tibbs a trade that had Jonathan Taylor in it for Gibbs before the draft that year.
I was going to say, who were the 2 picks above Gibbs that year? Man, I can't remember off the top of my head.
It would have
2023.
been Dijon and who was
The
the wide receiver in
receiver.
that? That wasn't that the JSN year?
Maybe. In which
There's
case, that
no way
well,
those
we
wide
can click. Let's click
receivers.
JSN then. Yeah. So back to back, Tibbs gets JSN and fucking Jahmyr Gibbs. What an absolute stud filled first.
Yeah.
First 3 pick that draft. I mean, that was
I mean,
absurd.
was that Puka? That was Puka's year too, right?
I believe
That
that was the
was
Puka year as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's not how he drafted him, but like
no, but still, it's like that whole class is really getting its returns now. I mean, really, that was peak rebuild for Tibbs. So it's definitely working in terms of getting the guys that you need to take these championship runs. They're all kind of hitting their prime at this point too, which is really bodes really well. And this is kind of like this isn't unexpected. We expected Tibbs' team to be one of the best this year. It just kind of fell flat here in the playoffs.
yeah, I would have said his team was the betting favorite coming into this year.
And boy, what a tough playoff performance here for Josh Jacobs with 2.8 and then 0.3 in the championship game. I believe he was pretty hurt though, wasn't
he? This was my point of like, all right, like who are we gonna have left going into this championship week of like who's healthy? Like, do you start this guy? Because like Jacobs was so obviously not playing healthy the last few weeks of the year. Like just watching him, I was like, oh boy, this guy he's going through it. So like it's tough because you can't. What are you gonna do? Bench Josh Jacobs? Like he's been so good all year.
I mean, it's funny though because from a statistical standpoint, yes, but then like I watched a lot of Josh Jacobs games this year. He was not very efficient. Like this was one of his worst years running the football, but it was also because that line wasn't really doing a whole lot for him. So it's kind of just like a strange season.
They would just weekend at Bernie's his ass up to the goal line though every week, and you could like book a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, look, he only had one game without a touchdown in the first 10 weeks. I mean, like it was basically a guarantee that you're gonna get that anytime touchdown for 10 straight weeks. So that was kind of impressive as well. And then let's get into the receivers a little bit here. In this game, we have Amon-Ra St. Brown, as mentioned, just another outstanding year. I mean, what a draft pick this has turned out to be for you for that 2.7 pick.
Look at 3.
I mean, look at the numbers. They're just so similar. Like 207 this year, 201 the year before, 212 the year before that. You can just basically write him in for 200 points. Like that's basically what we're at this point. And this was with a frankly not good offensive coordinator this year. Like he got fired and he got his job taken away. He still is putting up the numbers.
Don't worry, we got Drew Petzing on the way.
Dude, we'll get to that when we get to the coaching changes. We have that coming up in this episode. But man, just what another great year for St. Brown. Didn't really have his best performances here towards the end of the season. But
the whole team, man, it was tough at the end.
But man, that Rams game was sick. I remember watching that one, that Week 15 game. It was just a zillion targets. Almost got the PPR legend status that game. And then let's go over to Tibbs' side with Puka Nacua. Obviously, the talk of the offseason with the trade with the Muskrats. But man, I mean, Puka is like, I know we talked a little bit, obviously with the Devontae Adams stuff at the beginning of the year. How much would that change? I mean, Puka, he is legit. He's the most legit of all legit. He does stuff that it's so old school to see a receiver like this, where he's so physical, can make I don't think he drops passes. Like there's some catches he makes that nobody in their right minds would make, like let alone like NFL Hall of Famers. So like he is clearly one of the most talented receivers in the league. And then this was his true breakout of all breakout seasons. I mean, he only missed one game this year, and he was just a superstar.
I distinctly remember a catch that wasn't even a catch for him on that Monday night game day.
I sure do too.
Atlanta. That would have been the sickest fucking catch I've ever seen.
I mean,
it was so close.
It doesn't even make sense what he's doing. I mean, and I really feel like there's still upside here. Like he had a zillion touchdowns taken away from him this year from Devontae Adams and other folks like on the offense. Like, I mean, he could have 15, 20 touchdowns if it was more of like him instead of Devontae in the red zone. I mean, there's still upside to be hit. I mean,
Yeah, there's a Cooper Cup Triple Crown season in there that has not happened yet. It's terrifying because he was already the wide receiver 1 this year. So
yeah, I mean, he's going to be a locked and loaded, top 5 pick probably in redraft next year based on this year. So, I mean, once again, the trade is the trade, but for Tibbs's team, this is going to be one of those, as long as Puka stays kind of off the field wise, out of trouble at this point, which is not trending in the right direction, but as long as that happens,
we knew, great. We were told,
I was told. I was also told that Devontae Adams would be the better fantasy receiver. That was wrong.
Hey,
he got half of it right. He got tread.
So it's so funny is like the question before the year was like, what does that do to Puka? Like, do you like take him down a little bit? Does like Adams go up or anything? As it turns out, Matthew Stafford's just going to be the QB1, and they're both going to eat.
Yeah, and I didn't really see that.
Really talked about.
Yeah, I didn't really see that happening, but I mean, right now it looks like Matt Stafford could play another 3 years. Like he looks awesome. So
I mean, that immortal chamber, whatever the hell it's called.
He needs to go to the Fountain of Youth or something. I don't know. Go to St. Augustine, Florida. I don't know where he's got to go. I don't know.
I've been there.
I have been there too. I think I didn't go to the Fountain of Youth, but I know it exists. Anyway, we had Puka Nacua, number 1 receiver on the year finish wise. Then he also has the number 2 guy in Jackson Smith and Jigba, who has a monster breakout season for 1,700 yards and 10 touchdowns. And this was like this is like the most like just if you could just draw up like the progression of a good wide receiver 1 in terms of like what you expect like for these kind of receivers, going from that kind of tougher first year in a terrible offense with Shane Waldron, then really, having that breakout number 2 season, and then the 3rd year breakout that like used to be the thing back in the day, that actually is back. It feels like here with JSN and Sam Darnold leading the charge there. And I mean, 163 targets, 120 catches, almost 10 touchdowns every week. It felt like he was getting 10 targets. I mean, just an awesome player and really unfortunate here at the end of the season that, kind of these, like we were just talking about, these studs that Tibbs had with Puka, with JSN, with Jahmyr Gibbs, and even Josh Jacobs from that early years, form. Like they just kind of fell apart at the wrong time here at the championship game. So this team will be back. There's no doubt about it. This is one of the most scary teams coming for the crown next year. But JSN was a huge part of that. Going back over to your side, Cortland Sutton and Drake London really didn't do all that much. Drake London, I mean, that he was, I mean, it felt so good there in that middle part of that season. I mean, like I had him in redraft. I was like, I might never lose again. And then he goes out and I'm like, oh my God.
Live forever.
Yeah. And then like, just to get into if you got into the playoffs, you had to play him. Like, it's like you didn't have a choice.
I was kind of hoping for like a cheeky touchdown or something like that.
He did it in week 18, unfortunately. But I mean, he's the stock is definitely up for him though, based on how he played towards the middle of that season. He's going to get a new coaching staff, a much better coaching staff that we'll get into here in a second.
Big fan of that hire.
Everybody loves that. And then Cortland Sutton also with a 4-point performance. Cortland
Sutton the wide receiver. What did he finish as wide receiver 12?
It says 12, and it's basically what he did last year. And it's really not all that different.
I don't think I started him on a good week almost like this entire season. So it felt like he was like the wide receiver 50 to me.
Yeah, I mean he was so up and down. I remember there was one week where he like didn't even have like a target. I feel like maybe it was like one catch.
6, the Jets.
Yeah, it must have been the Jets game. They fed him the next week. So it's like I remember there's one game I was like I started him in some league and I was like, why did I do this to myself? This is just not fun to watch. I think it was like a Sunday night game or some dumb game or Thursday night game.
I think he's consistent. I think that was just a Bo Nix thing.
I think it might be just like a Sean Payton thing, to be honest with you. Like there's some weeks where he just like doesn't target certain guys. Like it's game plan development. I mean, I didn't realize he was 30 already. He's gonna be 31 going into next season.
I mean, he was on the Brock Osweiler team.
That is crazy. That
He
is
was.
actually insane.
He was drafted when Demaryius Thomas was still there.
Wow. That is a hell of a callback there, because I knew he'd been around, but I didn't really think it was this long.
Yeah, he was my first draft pick in the league when I came back.
Draft pick. Yeah, I mean,
it was him and DJ Moore.
Start of Sleeper, he wasn't even in here yet, so yeah, that makes sense. And then going into the tight ends situation, Taysom Hill might be the end. Might be the end.
Dick. Look at week 16.
They tried. They really tried, and then they didn't try.
What a dick.
They just didn't even. He wasn't even on the field, really. It was like
I was toggling him and Dallas Goedert so much week 17. I was so pissed.
What did Dallas Goedert do?
He probably scored a touchdown because he scored a touchdown almost every week.
He had 6 points, apparently. Better than what you got.
Yep,
and then on the other side, Tibbs had Tonjes, who frankly looks good every time he plays. So it's like,
what did he end up doing in that playoff game? Did he tear something? He got hurt.
It says plantar fasciitis foot injury.
Oh, okay. Well,
so
I mean, shit, he might be a redraft tight end next year, like a top 10.
Yeah, I mean, Kittle's basically going to be out pretty much all next year at this point, right? Like, I mean,
if Kittle plays again,
that's another good point. I mean, he might just be done.
He's 35, isn't he?
I don't know if he's as old as Kelsey is, but he's close. Let me see. 32.
Oh, okay. He's a little. Never mind. He's gonna play again.
Yeah, I know he's a little bit younger than like the older group of tight ends. But I mean, yeah, Tonjes has looked good every time he's played, so it's good news for Tibbs to maybe have another handcuff at the old tight end handcuff. Everybody loves a good tight end handcuff. And then let's get into our flex players. James Cook, really good season. Number 5 running back this year. He had 16. Really a career year after he signed that long-term deal, which is kind of rare for running backs, frankly.
Led the league in rushing.
Led the league in rushing with 1,600 yards, had 300 carries. I mean, they say, you got paid and we're going to fucking work you to the ground, because they really ran him hard this year. Yes. I mean, 40 targets, 33 catches. I mean, he's very good, and I was very wrong about his talents.
What's crazy is like he got a ton of work, and I think it's probably because the rest of the talent outside of him and Josh Allen is so bad on that team. Every time he didn't get the ball, when I was watching it, I was like, why aren't they giving James Cook the ball more?
I mean, they already gave him 309 carries, Sean. What else do you want?
I feel like it should have been more.
I know. I don't disagree. Like, it's just the thing is that they're like literally outside of like Cook and like the occasional Dalton Kincaid like pop-up play, it just doesn't feel like anybody has any little consistency in that passing game. Like, it is just, I mean, Shakir is like, okay, he's like a better version of Wan'Dale Robinson, but it's like, what else is there?
But don't worry, we're going to promote our GM that created this roster problem.
We will get to this. This is a whole.
Oh my God, my blood was boiling when I heard that. I was like, what? I'm not even a Bills fan.
Well, here's the thing. I was going to say, Sean, we can talk about it now over here. Are the Bills back? Are we finally back?
I mean, you're gonna have to wait for the trade requests from Josh Allen or something.
If that happens, we're back.
I mean, Terry Pagula is just an awful owner. Like,
he's awful. But I'm just like, if they find a way to not get a championship under Josh Allen, the Bills are so back. Like, if they're already fucking it up.
It's like a depressing we're back. Like, the Bills used to be funny. This is like depressing.
Like, here's the best case scenario. Like, win the Super Bowl and then go back to being bad again. Like, that's just like that would be like, once Josh is gone, let that be gone, and then let the Chan Gailey years come back. But this is depressing at this point, because I love Josh Allen. I feel so bad for him. Like, he can't get any help.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course their GM and ownership group is complete stooge fest right now. So, I mean, do you think that Terry Pagula thinks that it's Billy Bean? Like, do you think it's a different Bean? Because she's like, hey, this guy was a really good like GM for the Athletics back in the day. Let's get him in here. Like, it's so bad. He has what a scapegoat.
Yeah, for real.
Anyway, Brees Hall on the other side actually finished with a nice championship game here with 14 carries, 111 yards, and a touchdown in that Week 17 game. His outlook going forward is going to be very interesting with this offseason.
God, I hope they don't tag him for his sake.
It just feels like that's going to happen, though. I
Oh my
mean,
God, poor
like
guy.
they don't have to pay anybody else. Like, what else are they going to do? Like, they're
I don't know. Maybe they'll have like a listen for the locker room's sake. We probably shouldn't force this guy back. Like I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. But
is this a stipulation? Are you allowed to franchise somebody and then trade them? I don't even know.
if you put him on the transition tag,
So like maybe that's the route they go because like
that's what isn't that what got put on Lamar Jackson before he signed his extension the first time? And then like the
maybe
reports came out about like Atlanta and stuff.
I
I
mean,
thought that's what that was.
it would make sense for a guy like this because like it seems stupid to not get anything for him. And I mean, obviously they get a comp pick, but it just feels like you could get at least something for him.
They didn't get any like top 100 pick offers from anybody. That was their breaking point from what I've heard before the trade deadline.
And one of the big criticisms of him early on was that he can't stay healthy. He's been healthy 3 straight seasons now, so it's like that's not a problem. It's really just get this guy the hell out of New York is really what it comes down to.
It's funny is he looked the most explosive like his first few weeks back after the ACL tear too. Like he was ripping off like huge runs as soon as he came back.
And it's crazy too, is like that offensive line has gotten so much better too. Like they're awesome in the run game. So it should be if he is back with the Jets, you just got to pray that they have any level of quarterback competency because like he's very talented.
I'm very curious to see who's going to be the starting quarterback week 1 next year for them because
I've got nothing. No idea. Yeah, what's the early prediction? Let's see if you can get it right. We'll come back to this episode.
Oh boy. Okay, let's see. I feel like I can tell you what Miami's is going to be.
I'd like to hear that, frankly.
Malik Willis is going to start week 1 for Miami next year.
I feel like Malik Willis is going to start somewhere next year.
They just brought all the Green Bay guys over there. They're going to
kind of adds up.
Malik Willis. I don't know how Vince feels about that, but we'll talk to him.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to go with.
Do you think it's a rookie?
Not week 1. I think a rookie will be on the roster.
They have to. They have to have somebody.
I'm not sure what the dead money is for Fields after last year, but I can't imagine they're bringing him back or he wants to be back.
I've seen enough.
I'm going to go with Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, I was going to say like a Brissett. Is there some like classic stopgap guy? It's like him.
That or Tua.
Tua would be kind of interesting. They actually have a good line, so he might not die. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, both those make sense. It's just like Tua's. Who knows with that contract situation? But I mean, that's another mess to speak. We'll talk about that later at some point. And then we have Josh Downs 3.4. Not a great week for him. Really wasn't all that good, really at all this year. Just even with Daniel Jones, it wasn't really spectacular.
The Warren breakout as a rookie really hurts for Josh Downs.
I mean, the yards per target down, yards per catch was down, the yardage was down. He was healthy pretty much all year too, so it's kind of just a really disappointing year. He clearly was important to the team, but maybe not fantasy wise. And really, it's gonna. I think without Pierce being a free agent, like who knows what this is gonna look like? It might just be the same next year, frankly.
Yeah, he's just a guy, like he's a classic, like I think he's a good receiver that's just a little buried at the moment. Like I'm not really concerned about the talent. I think it's there. But I mean Pittman is good and apparently Alec Pierce is very good.
So. Yeah, I mean he took that third-year leap that we're just talking about. Like he really stepped it up this year too. He isn't that or fourth year actually. It took the first year felt like a nothing burger. And then RJ Harvey on your side of things kind of really took off towards the end of the year. He had a breakout game against Dallas. I think it was like middle of the year. Yeah, he had 23 points with the 2 touchdown game, and then started getting more carries as the season went on here, and basically just kind of a stud pretty much all the way from week 13 in the bye on. So
the guy gets in the end zone.
he has a nose for the end zone, and he looks explosive in the receiving game. Like every time he gets these screen passes and outlet passes, I like now that I watch him, I have a little Pierre Thomas. I see a little Pierre Thomas in there. Like when he gets out in the open space, like they kind of run him in a similar way that Sean Payton used to run Thomas. So I kind of like where that's heading, and like a nice pick for next year as well, which is cool. So that's a great pick there for this draft, and then kind of not a whole lot notable here with the kickers and defenses, but
Did either of us leave anything on the bench week in championship week? I don't remember.
I mean, benching Josh Allen in the championship game is pretty insane.
It's bold.
But
it worked out, I think. Right?
But it did work out, and really just to kind of highlight the season for Josh. I mean, once again, finished becoming QB1 every year. Basically, it feels like just an absurd amount of rushing every single year over the last 3 years. I don't anticipate that going anywhere. He's still in his prime. Yeah, he's Josh Allen, but it is kind of wild that towards the end of the year it was a tough matchup against Philly, and basically didn't play in playoffs because of that Cleveland game. He had 6 points, but it really wouldn't have mattered all that much here. And I don't see a whole lot else notable, like a Bill Krosky merit showing at the end of the year.
That was.
He pissed me off all year in redraft.
It was like what, an hour or two before the game where that report came out that what's his name wasn't going to play because of sickness.
Oh yeah, was it Chris Rodriguez?
Yeah,
yeah.
It's just I saw that report. I was like,
I want to know what happened, because he just didn't get the ball early in the season. Whenever he got the ball, it felt good, and then like he had one pretty shitty game. I think it was against Dallas. Yeah, Dallas. He had 13 for 33. And then it was just like didn't give him the ball again. Like he had like very limited opportunities against good defenses, and it just they stopped using him for Chris Rodriguez. Like, what is going on with this offense?
It was so confusing because all they did was like praise, like, oh, he's going to be great. He's going to be great.
They traded Brian Robinson with the idea that I think that probably thought that Rodriguez and I mean, like McNichols was getting legitimate touches at points this season. Like this whole backfield was such a mess all year, and now it feels like it's really set up. They could draft somebody now.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. Well, I mean, he's like less than a 0 on third down as far as like pass pro.
He's done nothing. I mean, like
it's awful.
He literally had one.
He's a 2 down back, and I don't know if they were just really not interested in playing him because of that, or like being predictable because he can't pass block. But like, in fairness, Jaden Daniels barely played this year, but like when you have a quarterback like Jaden Daniels, I'm not really as concerned about pass blocking from the running backs. So
no,
I don't know. It's weird. I'd be curious to see how that shakes out this offseason, like the running back room. They could definitely use another running back because I think Eckler is probably done. And then
they'd be very much looking for somebody with any third down presence because they don't have it on the roster right now.
Not a year to get a running back though in the draft. So
not at all. No
team.
I mean, and like you said, the free agency market seems pretty good for running backs this year. So
yeah, off the top of my head, I don't think they really have that many draft picks because they traded for Tunsil. So I don't know if they're going to use it on a running back.
I think they traded a lot of like mid-round picks over the last couple of years to kind of like build up that team, and then now it's kind of just a mess again. So
they really took it the wrong way as far as like we've got a quarterback, so let's buy, and not use our draft picks. Like I hated that.
I like the idea of buying pieces, but not for draft picks. It's like you should use your free agency money while you have the rookie quarterback. So I don't know what they were thinking. And then didn't Kingsbury leave?
Yeah.
Like what are they doing at OC now? Like I don't even.
It's David Blau.
Oh wow, that's a fun one. Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, that happened. He was like one of the first hires.
Yeah, I felt like I
heard
the name pop up, but I didn't know if he actually got hired or not. So that's
he's the OC. Well,
that'll actually transition us into our next topic here, Son. So once again, congrats on the championship, the three-peat. Truly an impressive feat in this league for sure because of how competitive it is, and and how much everybody wants to win in this league. So that it really does mean something extra, I think, in this one in particular. And it really is shaping up to be another good offseason and good next year for the long gamers and the cheese fries here, both championship.
I would consider like I mean we count this for our redraft league as well, but like as like a group, as like a league, I just feel like our knowledge compared to like most other like casual leagues is just on a different level. So like
Oh yeah.
it just feels better winning like one of our leagues compared to like any other random one. So I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, especially the Dynasty League too, like this one, like everybody's so
Mhm.
invested. Everybody spends a lot of time on this league. Obviously, we have the podcasts, we have, so much, some good history now. There's a lot of pageantry with all the logos and the teams and stuff. And there's now, I mean, we've had so many years of, history to look back on and things to review and, like all the draft history and trades and stuff. It's made it so it's gotten to the point where every single owner is so invested. And I don't know, I've been in a bunch of other dynasty leagues, over the last like 10 years or so, and not one of them is even close in terms of the buy-in of every owner in this league is
Mhm.
just so strong. And if somebody is making a choice to rebuild or to go all in, it means so much more because you're this is like, oh, if I'm rebuilding, this is going to be a 3-year thing, or if I'm retooling, I'm really trying to win again this year, or if I'm really going all in and just, saying fuck them picks, like it means so much more in this league to make decisions like that. And that's why, like, every time I make a trade in this league as opposed to any other league, I think about it 17 times more than like it's so funny because like there's some leagues that you just like you see something, you're like, yep, I'll do that, whatever. And then this league is like, no, that is not the case. I'm coming up with 7 offers, multiple counters. Like it's a totally different ball game in this league. So that makes it even more impressive to get that 3P. So it should be. I really think it's going to be another very competitive year next year. So it's not going to get any easier. So it should be a really fun off season as we get into that. But all right, so let's get into our next topic. We're going to talk a little bit about some of these coaching changes. There's not a lot of news in terms of hires. There's a couple, but we still have a lot of spots left to fill throughout the league, both offensive coordinator wise for dynasty purposes and head coach wise. So maybe we could do like a little of a matchmakery type of thing here with what's
Sure.
left. So we do know that Harbaugh has gone to the Giants. We know that Saleh has gone to the Titans, and what was the third one? One of the bigger ones. Can't remember off the top of my head.
The Dolphins, Halfley.
Yeah, half with the Dolphins. That wasn't the big one I was thinking of. Wasn't there one more? I'm gonna Google. I'll Google it real quick so I don't waste too much time here. But NFL head coach vacancies. 4 of 10 filled. So we had Halfley in Miami. Stefanski was the Falcons.
Oh yeah.
And then which we did kind of briefly hit on. But there's still a lot of people interviewing. So we have the Cardinals opening is available.
Worst job on the market.
Not even close the worst job in the market. I mean, that is it. Like I feel bad for whoever that coach is going to be, man.
I would imagine like any of the coaches that have pedigree probably were turning that job down for like a coordinator position instead. So like a McDaniel as an example. Like if I were him in his shoes, I would have done exactly what he did.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just so set up. If he has a good year, tie himself to a good quarterback, get a good job next year. Like might as well like give yourself the best opportunity to succeed. And I think makes a ton of sense for him. That being said, there's just so many good jobs, like legacy jobs this year, that frankly nobody saw really coming open. For Ravens, probably one of them. I didn't really see that one coming. Preseason. But Ravens are open. Bills are open with Josh Allen. That's crazy. Steelers is like if you get hired by the Steelers, you're good for 19 years basically. So that's a crazy one. And you have the Raiders and Browns also available. So we have a lot of options. So I guess let's maybe start with the teams that are still interviewing, starting with the Cardinals. Like they interviewed Harbaugh, they interviewed Halfley, Saleh. They didn't get any of those.
I think it's going to be Anthony Lynn.
That would be wild. He has not interviewed yet
Right?
with them.
Wait, no, not Anthony Lynn. Who's the DC for the Broncos right now?
Oh, Joseph.
Yeah, Vance Joseph. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be Vance Joseph.
That would be such a Cardinals hire. Such a Cardinals hire.
I believe. Didn't he already coach the Cardinals once?
I believe he was an interim coach at some point.
Yeah,
I don't love it, but
I think that's the best that they're gonna do. If I'm being honest, I think you could do worse. If to be honest, like he's I think overperformed with whatever roster he's had before. But I mean, it's not a sexy hire whatsoever. But I think with the young talent on that defense, I wouldn't mind it.
But. So I mean, like let's look at this instead of like a team view. Let's look at like who's left. So right, like you have Clint Kubiak, who's been pretty tied to a lot of teams. He's going to go somewhere. I've also seen Jesse Minter's name a lot tied specifically to the Ravens.
I think he's going to be. I think it's either going to be him or Flores as the coach for the Ravens.
Well, I just saw before this podcast that Flores went back to the Viking on an extension. So
yeah, he said it's contingent if he doesn't get a head coaching job.
Okay, I did not see that. So that would be.
Yeah,
I feel like he's just a Steelers head coach. Like he was already there for a little bit. Like he just makes so much sense.
I could see Flores as either the Ravens or the Steelers, and I think if he isn't the coach of the Steelers next year, I think it's going to be Chris Shula.
And I think Shula's a really good candidate. I actually really like him. So I was hoping the Bucs would fire Bowles and do Shula, and then we bring in Shieldhouse from the Rams as well.
Dude, the Bucs they're not going to fire a coach they just extended. We
get a whole episode on Todd Bowles. We're not going to do that today. We'll bring Scavelli on for that one. That is a nightmare situation with all the available options this year. But Vance Joseph, Mike LaFleur. The funny one that I keep seeing, I'm like, man, this would be rough. Like Arthur Smith, Matt Nagy, horrible, like horrible. I don't know. I've also seen.
It's a retread. It's going to be a retread because that's all they're going to be able to get.
Right. So I mean, for the Cardinals, like Joseph does make sense. The Ravens, I think Minter is going to end up there just off the top of my head.
I think so.
It just makes a lot of sense.
Unless they want to remove themselves from like the Harbaugh tree, which they could, but I will be curious to see because I think that just makes too much sense as a hire.
Well, it's also
but I also feel like it happened already.
Yeah, they lost on McDonald, and it's like, well, they probably saw it and was like, well, we should probably try to get back into that because we kind of fucked that up. But I mean, he's really good. I did not know they interviewed Jim Schwartz. Oh my god.
Who did, the Browns?
No, the Ravens.
As their head coach, really?
Apparently, like that's a crazy one. I did not see him ever being a head coach again. Buffalo Bills. That's who the hell's going to coach the Bills? I like Brady. I thought he was a good option, but it seems like they just want to clean everybody out. Because we were just talking about how shitty that ownership group is.
It could be Brady, and then I've heard Davis Webb.
That would be fun.
And I've heard Dable, which that would be hilarious.
Dable would be funny. That would be really funny. Wow. I hadn't even really thought that.
My best guess is that it's going to end up being Brady, and Dable's going to be the OC.
I just don't know. Like, if it seemed like the coaching staff was at such odds with management, they sided with management. Like, would they bring back anybody from this regime? Like, it seems almost like those coaches would be like, go fuck yourself at this point. Like, I don't know.
Unless they moved on so that they could promote Brady.
Unless that was like the end goal. Yeah.
Thing. And Dable I'm sure still has a good relationship. He left because he got a job. So
right.
I'm sure they'd be fine bringing him back in. he just doesn't have the temperament to be a head coach in the NFL.
No, he's not like, I mean, he got people fired. Like Wink Martindale left because of him. Like it just, yeah, it was clear that he's not meant to be a head coach. There's some guys that are just like that.
Yep.
But going back to the Wade Phillips days on defense, like just so much better of a coordinator than they were a head coach. Then the Browns, they're going to be another one kind of just scraping the bottom of the offerings.
I think that could be Jim Schwartz, and they just promote him and be like a lame duck for a year, potentially.
Yeah, maybe.
When they move on. But I think they've also interviewed, oh God, I can't remember his name. He's like 30. Fuck, what was his name?
House or Udinsky or whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah, Udinsky.
From Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they interviewed they've interviewed both of their coordinators, Tommy Rees and Schwartz. Then they also
Rees just signed as the OC in Atlanta. So
okay, so that's gone. So then Aiden Durd, which is the DC for Seattle, they interviewed McDaniel before he got hired with the Chargers. They interviewed Minter, Monken, and Shieldhouse, who's the Rams offensive passing game coordinator. And then
I think Monken is only going to go to an OC position if it's the Giants.
I would agree with that as well, unless it's a head coaching gig, which I feel like his only head coaching opportunities at this point are really like the Browns and maybe like the Cardinals or something. Yeah. Or maybe even the Raiders, maybe. The Raiders are the weirdest one for me. I don't know what they're going to do.
It's not that bad of a job. I
mean, they're going to get Mendoza, like, so.
Yeah. And I mean, he looked good.
He did.
Like it was like a friskier Jared Goff out there.
I saw a great tweet about like his post-game interviews and just like his like demeanor in general. Somebody said he's Kirk Cousins and Jameis Winston combined. Oh, and I was like, that's so true. It's so true.
I was listening to the Stock Exchange podcast, and they're like, he's the Andrew Luck of Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, that's so true.
He's the final level of Kirk Cousins.
This guy's he's the biggest cornball I've ever seen. Like he's just so, like, but he has like the energy of Jameis Winston, but then the vibes of Kirk Cousins. It makes so much sense. It's that he's gonna be an interesting guy to see how he translates to the NFL. But he's gonna go to the Raiders probably. So you'd imagine if you're gonna get hired to the Raiders, that's your guy basically. So
I think I would be surprised at this point if Crosby was on the roster next year too.
Yeah,
I think he's getting moved.
I think this is a rebuild, man. I think it's a rebuild.
And I mean, you got to get what you can get for him before the draft if you want more picks. So
yeah,
we'll see what they do. But yeah, I don't think that's a bad spot at all. You get to tie yourself to a quarterback for a few years with Brady basically kind of as the overlord there at this point. That's fine.
Maybe Kubiak is the guy there.
That's a possibility. I would always just assume that there's some kind of Michigan like roots coming from whoever they hire. So that could be Minter potentially. It could be one of the guys out of Seattle too. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, saying that the Panthers defensive coordinator Giro Avero is also interviewed there. So that would be an interesting. He's got that team playing pretty well this year on defense specifically. He's always been in the mix of coaches every year, and he's just never really gotten the job. But
the league, I think, is waiting for him to actually have the players on his defense to like actually
just to see. Yeah,
I think everybody thinks or knows that he's a good coach, which I would tend to agree with. But
yeah, like you don't get those opportunities unless like those interviews, unless people think you're good, and like there's a reason for that.
It's kind of the reason I like. I kind of like the Saleh hire for Tennessee.
I liked it too. I didn't like it in one way because it's like, okay, you fired Vrabel to basically take another Vrabel.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the holistic picture, it's not great. But like he went through it this year in San Francisco. Like the injuries that they had on defense,
and they still played good ball. They still played really good ball.
They played hard.
I think if you just get him a decent OC, you got the quarterback in place. Like it feels like it feels like it could turn around relatively quickly.
Clay Kubiak OC in Tennessee.
That'd be really.
Is he the last Kubiak that they can? How many more Kubiaks are there?
I think there's just those two Kubiaks. Those, I
There's
mean,
there's a scout too, I think, out there somewhere. That's
well,
a
he'll get
Kubiak.
an interview at some point, I guess. Um, all right, let's before we're done here, we got 5 more minutes. I was on Dynasty Daddy a couple days ago. I found a really funny, the Spotify Wrapped things that they do at the end every year. So they ended up doing a Wrapped for the league. I just briefly scanned through it, so I didn't really read anything because I wanted to read it here on the podcast, just to see what kind of stuff popped up. So let's see. Oh my God, there's audio. Jesus Christ. It's so loud in my headset. Okay, we're done with that. So let's see here. So we had 70 draft picks. So I guess it's starting with the rookie draft. So this should be fun. All right. So some people really made a statement. Okay, so draft. So I added the most value, which is surprising. I'll take that, I guess. They didn't like the cheese fries apparently. So we'll see. Top stars in the draft. So I think they're going here based on the value, total value there. So they Ashton Genty with the first one. So who's pick 3? Was that Quinshawn? So Quinshawn
I believe so, yeah.
and then 4 was
Or it was Travis Hunter. I can't
Hunter.
remember.
Okay, yeah. So those didn't work out. Or well, I mean Quinshawn did, but like right now it's not looking good for Travis Hunter. Travion, then of course Emeka Egbuka with pick 8. So I think those are the top 5 in terms of rookie output. So that would kind of make sense. Okay, so these are the draft steals. So it's got Harold Fana. What a fucking pick. I mean, what a Scavelli pick there.
I specifically remember from the Hot Takes episode that I said Harold Fannin would be drafted as a top 10 tight end next year.
Look at you go. And we love this podcast loved Harold Fannin the whole way. We were all in.
Big fans.
I would have loved to have him. Oronde Gadsden, speaking of the tight ends, James and the Los Angeles Lambs, they snuck in there with the Oronde Gadsden, who did really look good at parts of the season. With McDaniel there, that's going to look really nice for Tibbs. Who traded for Gadsden? Was it Tibbs?
They just need to draft a center. Please, God, give that team
They need an offensive line, dude. They had so many injuries this year. And Jackson Dart, 3rd round pick, therefore the Philadelphia Plague. He looked good as well. Tyler Warren really looked like a great pick there. I mean, really both at first it looked like the Warren over Loveland situation was going to be like, oh shit, like this looks bad. And then Loveland has just been an absolute animal over the last.
They did like a little baton handoff halfway through the year.
Yeah, I mean, Warren looks like he's going to be really good, and so does Loveland. So you really can't go wrong with either one of those. And then Kyle Monangai I got in the supplemental part of the draft in the 5th round.
Great pick.
So that felt really good to get him later on there. Let's see what we got next here. Oh, these looks like the bust picks. So Matthew Golden at pick 7. Not a good rookie season. I know he was banged up at times, but he just never really got anything going. I honestly don't even know what his numbers were to finish the season. I feel like I should look it up just because
he didn't score a touchdown until the playoff game.
That is not good. That is not good at all. Let me see here. Do a quick little detour to find his name.
I'm gonna guess he had
guess the yardage.
370.
That's so much lower than I thought. 361. 361, no touchdowns. That is.
You fucking nailed that. I had honestly no reference for where he was at. It felt right.
I mean, he basically did nothing. Like he had 1 or 2 games early in the year where he got 4 or 5 catches, and then he missed 3 games in the middle of the year.
Yeah.
And just didn't do anything.
I'd be curious to see, I'm sure they weren't expecting Watson to come back and look as good as he did so quickly. But I'm sure Romeo Doubs is 100% out of there. He is going to get paid.
Yeah. I mean, that golden pick looks really bad too, because Jaden Higgins looked pretty good for them, for the Texans, and they could have easily taken him. So that it's just, and he kind of fits better too. Like I don't know. I don't even know what the problem is with Golden. Like I know he was hurt a little bit, but like what was the issue? Is like it didn't seem like he was even getting any targets to see what the issue was. He just wasn't there.
Green Bay's so tough because they just like
They spread it
the
around.
receiver room is so weird. Like Jaden Reed is a very talented receiver, and like he does not get that much run either. Like
No. And Watson had a nice little run again this year while he was healthy, so it's like going into next year, I have no idea what to do with
I
this
think it's
room.
going to be Watson, Golden, and Reed.
It has to be, but it's just like, are any of them week to week
No, I mean,
like a great
Tucker
option?
Craft's the real option one.
Yeah,
So.
he was excellent too, and
So
it was
good.
very notable that when he
Good.
went out, they could not replace that production with Musgrave. So clearly,
Mhm.
Kraft was the guy, and it wasn't a product of the system.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, Kraft played like 90% of snaps. Like he was
yeah,
an all-purpose tight end, and he was.
he was a guaranteed Pro Bowler, like no doubt about
Mhm.
it. Then we have Arian Smith. That was a 5th round pick, so I'm not going to spend too much time there. Jack Besh really did not get anything going
Dude, fuck
until,
Pete Carroll.
yeah,
They
seriously, he
didn't
didn't even
play
play him.
him.
He was not even playing till the end of the year.
It's what are you doing spending a second-round pick on a player you're not going to play? I don't.
And they were playing fucking Dante
Yes.
Thornton, and he didn't
Yeah.
do anything. Like he was just like he's a complete sacrificial lamb out there.
No, it's the. It's oh god, I'm blank. Yeah, man, the season's over and I've officially dumped all the names out of my head. Tyler Lockett playing at the end of the
Yeah,
year. What are we
yeah,
doing?
yeah. The legacy Tyler Lockett starts. Let's see. Guess the numbers for Jack Besh.
I
How
mean,
many
he
yards?
couldn't have had more than like 10 catches on the year. I don't know. Like,
He had 20 catches,
oh, did he? Okay, 20
but
catches.
most of them were at the end of the year. He had
20. So he probably had like what, like, I'll just say like 200 yards.
Yeah, I mean, he had 224 yards. So it's just, I mean, he didn't even play any reasonable snap numbers until week 13. Like it's just a complete malpractice by the coach to not even see what you have. Like just see you even if you think you're gonna get fired, don't you want to see what you got for next year? You're already trash. Like what's the point? So that's sad.
Yeah.
Jarquez Hunter, 3rd round pick for the Cheese Fries, really did nothing. I think at this point, wasn't he hurt maybe for most of the year? Or was he kind of like a scratch kind of guy?
Healthy
I don't.
scratched all
I was
year.
gonna say I feel like I never heard a single peep at him all year.
Could be wrong. I assume, I'm pretty sure it was just healthy scratch. He was the emergency running back if one of the other guys got hurt. It was like,
Yeah,
because he got benched over Ronnie Rivers, who plays special teams, I think, all year.
that would add up. And then Jordan James to finish out the crew. I mean, I know he was banged up early in the year, and then it seems like he might have the inside track to be the number 2 guy next year with Garendo,
Yeah,
basically obsolete at this point, and then Brian
yeah,
Robinson will go.
McCaffrey, and they traded for Brian Robinson because of the injuries to begin the year. So that's a hold. Alex
Yeah,
definitely has the roster space to hold him. So
no doubt about that. All right, let's see what's next here. Oh, so we got wow, 723 transactions.
oh, we were 4 short. What the hell?
Could have done it. So the most transactions was the Lambs, and I had the least. Wow, I'm not totally surprised by that. I had so many guys I wanted to just like hang on to. Yeah, so that might be the first time in my history that I've had the least amount though. So that's
I would
strange.
love to see how many Alex made. I feel like when you're the bottom feeders, like you gotta move and groove.
All right, so these are
Oh,
the best signings based. I would imagine this is based on like value added during the season. So
yeah.
Parker
Kenny
Washington,
Gainwell.
dude, Kenny Gainwell was good.
What a pickup.
He was very good. And, AJ Barner was nice throughout the year too at times. So like he I mean we used to joke so much about AJ Barner, but he's actually a thing, I think. So it's kind of funny how that turned out. You were saying it for a
I was
while.
gonna say I'm not gonna come here and talk shit, but I did say that he was gonna have a better year than the Rook, which
Yeah, the
I mean
rookie
that's
tight ends
fine.
are they're just so like you just never know what you're
Yeah.
getting with the rookie tight end. It really is. But I see what you're saying there. Kamani Vidal, also a nice little pickup, and then got involved in the trade with me later in the year. So
That was my last fucking roster cut before the year too.
that hurts. And then Tez Johnson had a little run of time there for the Muskrats, so that was fun. And then we'll let's see. Oh boy, 28 trades this year. Wow. I wonder if that's like going for the full calendar year. I imagine.
maybe from like the draft till now. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so okay, so the big DK Metcalf, Daniel Jones. Wow, that one's looking interesting for this year.
I was looking at mine.
Yeah, that's yeah, I mean Kraft really is
I did it.
very much ascending. Dobbins definitely played a good role for your team, and then of course Devontae, had a zillion touchdowns this year, so that worked out. Really, those first two receivers didn't do anything. I mean, Noel still, it was just complete malpractice not using Noel.
Noel is good. I'm not concerned about him.
He looks good every time he gets the ball.
Yeah,
but value-wise, looks very good. The Justin Jefferson trade looks fucking awful as it stands right now. Based on the season he had, but he's still Justin Jefferson, so I'm gonna wait that one out a little bit.
You got the Jordan Addison vibes off your team, though.
Yeah, so. That was nice to lose one jackass, I guess. So that felt good.
He just can't fucking help himself. It is.
I knew it though. Like that was the one guy that was like this. This is the one guy I knew. Yes, he's talented, but this guy is gonna fuck up again. Like I just felt it. Like
you can't have him and Pickens in the general vicinity. It's just gonna create a.
You can't go back to the carpet store. You just can't do it. Like the thing is, after that whole thing with was it Kyrie Jackson passing away to the drunk driver? Then a week later, he's found on the side of the road drunk. Like that, that's when you know it's like, all right, this is not going to get through to him. Like, I don't know if this is going to work out.
Wet and Reckless, is that what it was?
Wet and Reckless was the joke.
What a name!
I mean, I've never heard that ever until that moment. That was too easy for a nickname, but yeah, that's not looking great as it stands right now. And Daniel Jones, of course, that injury just really sucked.
Yeah, that's just brutal.
Let's keep going. So okay, so they consider these the fleeces. So yeah, so obviously mine doesn't look good based on this year's return. Don't love that.
Oh, get wrecked, James.
Oh man, big time Jerome Ford trade makes the cut. Wow. Keyshawn Boutte looked good though. He did look nice.
He did. I mean, he was a big prospect coming out.
Like, I'm aware. I took him in the third round. I'm very aware. I liked him. He was another guy's like, was it going to make sense with the character issues? But it seemed like it seems like Vrabel figured that out. So good for him. And then getting a third out of that too is pretty sweet.
Nice.
And then let's see, long gamers. Okay, so that was the same one. So yeah, a couple of the same there. So let's see what this is all about. So some memorable moments from throughout the season. Oh, these are the close games. Okay, so we had the margins of victory. So Cheese Fries Bombers week 2, which ended up being a pretty important game for the Bombers as they missed the playoffs. Lose by 2. Muskrats, Lambs. The Tank Bowl made the cut, it was a great game. I'll say that. It was an awesome game. Bombers again in a close, of course.
That week was
that was a fun one with the 150 points each, and then we had another tough game there in week 11 between the Lauderdale Lionheads and the Lambs. Lambs were feisty all year. I'll say that.
Lamb Tank Commanders, beautiful tank job right there.
It really was a quality tank all the way through. Like, here's the underdog wins. And of course, the Elk week 9 game, that was a nice upset. And then of course the one that knocked me out of that bye week. In week 14, that was a crazy. I still can't believe that happened. Absolutely absurd.
Me from Derrick Henry the next week. Thank you so much.
I mean, the only thing that I'll say about that is it helped me get the number 6 pick. So I guess if I wasn't gonna win, at least I got the higher pick, which was kind of nice. But man, what a crazy week. Ending to the season specifically. And then let's keep going here. Some superlatives apparently. Okay, so Tibbs with the most points in the league, the worst, almost doubled the Muskrats. That is absolutely insane.
Worst defense.
The
poor guy.
Still made the cut. Still made the playoffs. All things considered, that's a really resilient team there.
Yeah, so, yeah. We'll be watching him closely coming into next season. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean we're gonna have a zillion. Podcasts about the draft, so we'll get into all that, but obviously he's going to play a huge part in that. And let's see, the most luck. So the most lucky schedule was the Plague. Didn't really matter for them. And then the Cheese Fries had the most unlucky schedule. So all that, and they still get the bye week, so that still worked out for them. And then here's your top 4 teams, average points per game. Wow, Tibbs and I were the same. Huh, that's pretty wild. 10-4.
Game 108. That doesn't seem right.
That feels low.
Yeah.
I feel like all these are low. I wonder if this is like only factoring in specific positions or something.
Possibly.
I feel like I scored more than 118 a week.
I was for sure like 130 per game.
And then there he is, the long gamers. Had an incredible season. Let's see. Oh, there's a bullshit quotes in here. This is great. All right, Dynasty Daddy, you hit one out of the park with the raft. I like this. This is fun. All right, that should be. Let's see. Well, there it is. Wow, 306 waiver moves. That's quite a few. I wonder if any other league is even close to that number for the year.
Maybe with like shorter rosters and there's actually players in the waivers, but
yeah, maybe that's a good point. Like we don't make quite as many.
Considering the player pool we're picking from in waivers,
that's still a lot. Yeah,
that's just so many.
That's still absurd. Yeah, that is a great point. All right, so we're at an hour. Good episode, Sean. We'll definitely be back soon. Maybe when we get a couple more coaches hired, more stuff to talk about specifically regarding those players on those teams.
Gonna do our first mock draft of the offseason soon.
Yeah, we're gonna get into mock draft season. Can't wait for that. I'm gonna send out a league survey probably in the next week or two here. So when you see that hit Discord, please fill that out. We'll do kind of like awards. Maybe talk anybody has any ideas for the off season, potential rule changes, anything like that. That's going to be our forum for that, and then we'll do starting to talk about the rookie draft picks, where everybody slots all of the 10 zillion elk picks that are going to be going on this year. It should be a very fun draft season and off season. So